Alright, what's going on everybody? It's Matt Abong with That's Fight Media coming at you guys with another video. You guys already know what time it is. It's time to bring on that boxing, and today we're going to be talking about Vasily Lomachenko, the Matrix, obviously coming off a heartbreaking decision loss to Devin Haney, a very disputed and controversial decision. A lot of people thought Loma won the fight. Like me, I personally thought Loma won the fight. I scored the fight 7-5 for him over Devin Haney. Still a very close fight. Obviously the decision went into the favor of Devin Haney, so he's technically the undisputed defending champ, reigning champ of the 135-pound division. Obviously not his best performance by any means, probably one of his worst performances, but when it's really hard to look good against a guy like Vasily Lomachenko, because you're talking about one of the best fighters in the history of boxing. I'm pretty sure he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. He's very talented. The footwork, the hand speed, the combinations, the angles, everything was very sharp that night. The gas tank was it was good. It was better than I thought it would be, but if it was a little bit better, maybe that changes the outcome of the fight. Maybe you would have been able to step on the gas in that 10th and 11th round to stop Devin Haney, maybe win that 12th round to really seal it. But he left it in the hands of the judges, and that's what happens, when you're fighting the undisputed champ. You're not in your home territory. You're in the United States, the home territory of the reigning champion. So that's how this sport of boxing works. They favor their own, and in my opinion, Loma won the fight. I'm not going to call it a robbery because it was too close to be called a robbery. It's not like Manny Pacquiao and Timothy Bradley, where I thought Manny won probably 7 out of the 12 rounds at least, and then obviously I scored 7-5 for Loma, but that could be very. There were so many swing rounds, and then you give the swing rounds to Devin, who's the the undisputed champion, because when these rounds are dead even, obviously a lot of judges are going to say, okay, just give it to the champ because he probably won the round because he's a champ. Like that's literally, it sounds so foolish, but that's their thought process. Is believe me, I'm pretty sure a lot of these judges don't know how to score the round and who to score it for, so they just go with the champion. But it's not the way it's supposed to be. But let's get into whether or not Vasily Lomachenko should retire, because a lot of people are talking about it. He's getting into these fights where the decisions aren't going his way. We saw how emotional he was about the fight. He talked about his son saying "and knew," and it got him very emotional. He thought about that process, and that's where we got the clip of him kind of being very emotional and crying about the fight, because it was a big moment. It was basically his last opportunity to get undisputed, unless he can make a big run. I think actually I'll take that back, because he put on such a good performance that I think he's earned the right to a rematch, but I don't know if he's going to get it. I wouldn't be surprised if Devin rides off into the sunset and goes for bigger names and more money in fights with Shakur Stevenson and then Tank. There are a lot of big fights for him, even Ryan Garcia. Those are big money fights for Devin, but I don't think Loma should retire. I think that personally he could really fight any of those guys, Shakur, Tank, yeah, even Ryan Garcia, because I'm not so confident that Devin Haney's going to fight any of those big names next, because the negotiation process for these fights, oh my god, the terms, everyone's going to say I'm A-side, the belts matter, the belts don't matter, so I don't know if Tank and Devin happens next, to be honest with you. I think Tank might fight a few other guys, but Devin might have some filler opponents at 140 if he goes up. I don't know if he's going to stay at 135, because I do think that him staying at 135 did affect his performance. I know he didn't fight his particular style, fighting on the outside, using the jab and countering, but still his mobility looked a little bit off, and I think that could be a consequence of him sucking down to make 135 when he's ready to go to 140, in my opinion. But Loma still looks good at 135. People were talking about him possibly going down to 130 and then going undisputed down there, but I think he's doing just fine at 135. Could give a lot of these guys problems. I'd love to see Shakur and Loma. I'd love to see Tank and Loma. Those are good fights, good tests for both Tank and Shakur, and I don't know how well they do against a guy like him. He's tricky. He's very, he's a tough puzzle to solve, and I'm curious to see how they handle that pace. If it's from round 1 to round 12 like it was with Devin, I'd be excited to see that. This is the Loma I wanted to see these past few fights, where he's, in the fight against Devin, where he's starting from round 1, he's keeping that pace, and then, carrying it throughout the fight. Obviously, he fades in and out, fights in waves, when the later rounds come, because it's exhausting. It's such a tiring sport, and when it gets to those later rounds, you kind of have to push through, and it's not easy. So, I think Loma's far from done, but it's really up to him and his team and his family whether or not, it's worth continuing, and in my opinion, there's still a lot of money fights that he could, make happen and potentially, win. And then you're back in the conversation for, a title fight with Devin. You might get the rematch. So we'll see what happens, obviously, because if Devin doesn't want the immediate rematch with Loma, then obviously he's going to go to 140 eventually, and by that time, I doubt we're going to see Lomachenko at 140. I think he goes to 135, stays at 135, or maybe even goes down to 130, in my opinion. But let me know in the comments what you guys want to see Vasily Lomachenko do next. I personally don't think he should retire at all. I'd love to keep seeing him, fight against great opposition like Devin Haney or, Ryan Garcia, Tank, or Shakur. All great fights for me. But let me know in the comments, what do you guys think that Lomachenko should do next? Should he fight Ryan? Should he fight Tank? Should he fight Shakur? Rematch with Devin? Or, just call it? And or even maybe go back to 130. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. But thank you guys so much for watching. And I will catch you guys next time. Peace. That's going to do it for another Nads Fight Media video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy, Matt Nabong, with another video. Hope you guys enjoyed it all. Thank you guys for the constant support. Salute to y'all always. It's been your boy.